Hello, good afternoon. My name's Natasha, and if you're new here, I post videos talking about whatever's on my mind. I am 30 years old. I am an addict, a raging addict in recovery. I am single. I live in London, and I've just generally been quite a messy human until now. I've been sober for 2 years from drugs and alcohol, and I'm in binge eating recovery, which is also a 12-step program that managed to help me out of that. But today I'm not going to bore you with the food stuff or the alcohol or the drugs. I'm here to talk about coffee. Also, I can't believe it's August and it's like autumn. It's literally like autumn. This excites me so much. I don't know, maybe I forgot to mention I'm also autistic and ADHD. Maybe I like autumn because it's cozy. I love cinnamon. I love coffee and teas because I don't drink anymore. I'm not a huge fan of Halloween, but I co-lead a female-only society, which is so much fun. If you're a female and you live in London, you should definitely get involved with us. So we'll be doing a Halloween meal. We like to get very glam and dressed up. Back to why do I think I like autumn so much? I think it's because I am autistic and I like to hide behind my coats, and I like to have cozy nights in and be introverted, and I feel like August and summertime is when everyone's a bit crazy and it's all like, let's meet and get drunk and go on wild holidays and or have barbecues and parties, and I'm not really into that, to be honest. Even though I co-lead a society where we host events and retreats and have so much fun in groups, I have always struggled to be part of a group, and I've never felt like I fit in anywhere. But with the Ivy Society, it's so nice because, I don't know, there's just something special about it. I feel like it's really spirit-led. It always turns out to be the most perfect events without much effort on our side. Even though myself and Chloe put our heart and soul into it, and it's just, we put Ivy above everything, literally. We just love it so much, but we never have any issues there. It's just kind of like, I don't know, an antisocial social club. Anyway, caffeine addiction. So I got sober June 28, 2 years ago in 2023. And the reason I went into Alcoholics Anonymous recovery is because my best friend went into rehab, and I went to visit him, and I was still high from the night before, and he could tell. And when I got home, he called me and said, if you're still going to be doing stuff like that, I won't be able to hang out with you when I get out of rehab. And this guy is like my only friend, my gay best friend, all throughout uni. And I just thought, well, what do I value more, alcohol or my best friend? My best friend, of course. So I decided I'm going to give up alcohol. I did not realise I was an addict at all at this point. And when he got out of rehab, he asked me to go to a few AA meetings with him. And I thought, of course, I'll go to support him. And I'm just always experimenting with life and new things anyway, so I thought it'd be really interesting to go. I know that my granddad had been to some meetings before because he's an alcoholic, and I'd heard about it before. So I thought I'll go and check it out and support my friend. Anyway, I go to a few meetings and I was heavily judging people. I was judging them, thinking, thank God I'm not one of these alcoholic people. Thank God that I don't actually need these rooms. I'm just coming to support because I'm such a good friend. I was so in denial. I was so delusional. My friend even said to me, you do realise that you're an addict? And I was just like, Oh, you would say that, wouldn't you? Because, I'm your friend and you just want me to stoop to your level. I was so judgmental. And every time I tried to drink after going to these meetings, I was just becoming more and more conscious of my problem with alcohol. And it just was getting worse and worse. And the last time I ever drank was the Henley Regatta. And I won't go too much into it, but an old couple found me on the streets at 3 a.m. passed out. Apparently there was a man from my work who they said was a colleague, but was not sexually abusing me, but like was being really horrible to me, and I was like half unconscious on the steps near the house, and they took me in, and I woke up there at their house, which was a lovely apartment. I thought, wow. But then the anxiety that I felt, I will never forget. I couldn't find my phones and keys. It was a weekday, so I was supposed to be at my new office corporate job, first ever corporate job. I was supposed to be there the next day. It's already noon. I've got no phone, so I can't call my manager. The anxiety, oh my gosh, that I was feeling. I'd done a bunch of cocaine as well. The old couple said to me, we called your granddad to let him know because you didn't have a phone and it's the only number you knew. My poor old granddad, I'm nearly 30 years old, and some random people are having to call my grandparents to tell them that I'm passed out on the street and I've lost my phone. It's just embarrassing. I was shook. And then the guy had to take me back down the canal, which was about a 2-3 mile walk right to the end, where I'd left my phone in a bar, and get my house keys. And my feet were all blistered. I was overweight at this point. I was a few stone overweight. I was just like, chafing and hot and sweaty. It was summer. It was June 28th, the last time I ever drank. And picked my phone up. By this time it's about 2 p.m. and I had to get the train from Henley to Clapham, where I lived in London, and never found my house keys. All my housemates were out, so I had to climb over the fence to try and get through the window in the back garden, and my dress got caught. It was like a long floaty pink dress. Feet are bleeding at this point. My head is like the worst headache I've ever had in my entire life. I just don't feel human. I feel like I'm gonna die. And all the way back, I'm just like, I'm never doing this again. I'm never doing this again. I'm never doing this again. And I haven't, and I pray that I never will. But so my dress got stuck on the fence, and this old lady, she must have been about 90, comes along with a walking stick and unhooks my dress. This is, I don't know, it must have been like a Wednesday or a Thursday, middle of the day. I was such a mess. I was so embarrassed. And after that, I started going to AA meetings, came to terms with the fact that I am in fact an addict. Since then, I've been diagnosed with ADHD, autism, binge eating disorder, and coming into recovery was so painful. So what happened with the my knees are hurting, guys. But I don't want to just be a head. Like, I want to okay. Oh my god, I'm loving these leaves. Let me just show you again. It's autumn, but it's August. I might go shopping for a Halloween costume. Look at me, I'm genuinely happy. I've been sober for 2 years, and I don't think I'd ever felt genuine happiness in my entire life until I found 12-step recovery. So where was I? Came into AA, went to some NA meetings as well, Narcotics Anonymous, because even though I hadn't had a problem with drugs for a few years, drugs kind of went hand in hand with my drinking. So I really only need AA, because if I'm not drinking, I'm unlikely to do drugs, unless it's like sleeping tablets, which I did do recently. I nearly fell off the bandwagon completely because I met a guy who I quickly like fell for, and it was just too intense. I had to cut it off. It was just an addiction. I'm also in Sex and Love Addictions Anonymous because I am addicted to fantasy, and I become obsessed and infatuated on men and relationships, and it's just another way of escapism, really. Something else to numb me out. I've never had a healthy relationship. I hope that I one day do, but at the end of the day, I'm just happy to be alive. I did have some suicide attempts, some close calls during my using days, so I'm really lucky to be alive. So lucky and so grateful. This whole video is supposed to be about coffee. I am getting to it, bear with me. Let me just drink some more coffee. So I came into Alcoholics Anonymous. I was sober for 2 months, and I was piling the weight on. I was sat at work in my office job that I hated, about to go to a dinner and drinks with some work colleagues. Obviously not alcohol, but I had this summer dress on, and it just ripped at the sides half an hour before we were supposed to leave. It just ripped. I was too big for the dress. What was I to do? I didn't have time to go and get something new. I didn't have anything else with me. I didn't have any sewing kit, and it's like a corporate office, no one has a sewing kit. So I had to go to the whole meal with my arm by my side like that, trying to cover the rip in the dress, and I had to eat my food like this. And I thought to myself, I can't get any bigger. I can't get any bigger. I basically swapped the alcohol use for binge eating, and I used to suppress my hunger with alcohol, but because I couldn't do that anymore, I was just eating more than I had ever eaten before. And so I was piling the weight on quickly, and then so my dress ripped, and I thought, I'm gonna have to quit Alcoholics Anonymous and just go on a massive cocaine binge, because that was the only solution in my head to lose weight. This is how messed up my thinking is. So I was so close to quitting recovery, so close, because I didn't want to be fat, and I thought being in AA equaled me being obese in my head. But then something popped into my mind, a poster that I'd seen on the wall of the AA meeting, and it read Food Addicts Anonymous. Why was this popping in my head? I'm not a food addict. That meeting must be full of weird fat people. I had no idea at this point that I even had an eating disorder or there was anything wrong with me. Bear in mind, I was leaving my desk every 10-15 minutes to go and eat croissants, juice, whatever, like literally every 15 minutes in secret so nobody could see me. I wouldn't bring it back to my desk because I was embarrassed about how much I was eating. Always walking along, on my way home I'd get like a big bag of tortilla crisps and just like literally inhale them before I got home to make dinner, because I didn't want my housemates to see how much I was eating. And then I would like buy big bags of food and just lie in my bed and eat it all until I felt like my stomach was going to burst and I couldn't breathe, and I have no gag reflex, so I couldn't even purge it, throw it up. I just had to lie there like feeling like the pain. I cannot, it was like I was suffocating myself with food. Like I honestly couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe. I lie on my bed like trying to stay alive from the amount of food that I'd eaten. Not only that, I was spending, I once Googled, what does the average American family spend on food? I was spending more just on snacks for myself in a single month. And even then, that was like 2 years before I even found recovery. I was so delusional. I just kind of like turned a blind eye to the fact I saw that information. I'm also in Debtors Anonymous, which has really helped me to start saving money, but that's another story. Back to the coffee. So I went into Food Addicts Anonymous Food Addict Anonymous. I just felt this weight lifted. I went into the room, I heard the speaker speak, I was like, this is me, I've arrived. This is what I've been needing my whole life. Found a sponsor that day, American lady, ended up spending Christmas with her in my first year of recovery, spent 2 weeks with her and her husband, had the time of my life, first abstinent Christmas. And the FA program, you have 3 weighed and measured meals a day, plus nothing in between, no flour, no sugar. And most people in the program don't have caffeine, but I was using caffeine, tea, black coffee and sweetener to get me through from meal to meal. Anyway, I was like heavily dependent on caffeine to suppress my hunger to get me through this program. And then I was doing that for about a year, drinking Diet Cokes. Then I finally put down the sweetener because I was having like mini facial seizures, and I realized how poisonous sweetener was. I put down sweetener. And then about a year ago, I finally put down caffeine. Oh, excuse me. Felt amazing. My sleep's improved. It's like switching that anxiety off by quitting caffeine. And then recently, I met this, and I'm not going to blame the guy. It wasn't the guy's fault. I reached my 2-year AA birthday, and it was also the Ivy Society's birthday. And everyone was having drinks, alcoholic drinks, and my brother was in town, and he's just gorgeous, and his girlfriend, they're just so gorgeous, and I was just so happy, and I wanted to celebrate. And to celebrate, I had a bunch of black coffees. As an addict, I didn't have 1, I didn't have 2, I didn't have 3, I didn't have 4, I had 7 in a 3-hour time frame. I was buzzing. I was flying. I was like, this is a bit of me. This is a bit of me. Where have you been all my life? Anyway, fast forward. That was 28th of June. It's now 24th of August. And the leaves are already falling for some reason. And I am back on the bandwagon of caffeine. It makes me jittery. It stops me from sleeping. But I'm an addict and I can't stop. And this guy that I had this infatuation with and had to call it off because he was sleeping with prostitutes and he has a sex addiction. It was just a disaster waiting to happen. He leads Caffeine Anonymous. But I cannot go there because I can't see him. I can't see him. It's a disaster waiting to happen. So, yeah, caffeine. I never realized, obviously because I was always on harder drugs, weed, ketamine, cocaine, tramadol, Valium, Xanax, all of it, MDMA, ecstasy, all of it, speed, everything. So coffee to me was a very minor, but since I've been clean from alcohol, drugs, flour, sugar, binge eating, and everything in between, and meditating half an hour a day, and staying away from anything or anyone toxic, coffee to me now is like taking crack, and I need to stop. It makes me crazy. It gives me confidence. Earlier, before I had a coffee, I felt shit. I didn't want to speak to anyone. I just felt really introverted. I wanted to binge. I was just feeling really sorry for myself. As soon as I got a coffee in me, I'm texting people, do you want to meet? Do you want to go for a walk? I'm making this video. So in a way, it's kind of helping me, but also it's a false sense of confidence, isn't it? Because if I need this to connect and socialize with people, it's a bit sad, isn't it? I should be able to do that because that's a normal human thing to do, connect with people, but I struggle with connecting to people. So yeah, I just thought I would share about my caffeine addiction, which I know I went off on a tangent, but hopefully you get the point. And maybe you can relate, and if you can't, maybe you're just happy to see my face and that's why you're here. So drop me a comment, let me know that you're there, and let's meet for coffee soon. Thank you. God bless you. Bye.